Mackenzie says JLP Gov has done more for poor than any other admin.
Local Government and Rural Development Minister, Desmond Mackenzie, has boldly declared that no other political administration has done more for the country's poor than the Andrew Holness-led government since being elected in 2016. Mackenzie, in his remarks at Friday's opening of the Ocho Rios night shelter that is to provide a safe haven for homeless or street persons to sleep, scoffed at claims that the present government has done nothing much for the poor. Right across Jamaica we are building facilities such as this, for homeless people, and this is a new feature that the government of Prime Minister Andrew Holness, since 2016, has initiated, Mackenzie stated. He then took what appeared to be a swipe at the opposition People's National Party, PNP. Normally when people have problems with street people, they find dumper truck and put them in and dump them in Mud Lake, he claimed, adding that action ran counter to the present administration's approach. This is a caring government, declared the minister. The incident Mackenzie referred to has often been referred to as the Mobay Street People scandal. It occurred under a People's National Party, PNP, administration, though no one from the then St. James Parish Council, now Municipal Corporation, or the police force was held accountable. It was alleged that on the night of July 15, 1999, some 32 street persons were purportedly rounded up by members of a then St. James Parish Council work crew and what appeared to be police officers, and then placed in the back of a truck. They were subsequently dumped near a mud lake in another parish. The story goes that one of the homeless persons, a former veteran of the United States Army, warned the others not to run down a hill into the mud lake, as they were reportedly instructed to do by those who carried them to the area. 6 of the 32 street persons have never been accounted for, and when the matter became public, there was great outrage in the society, especially from the then Edward Seaga-led opposition Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, and both local and international human rights groups. An investigation was launched and the then Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, ruled that Inspector of Police Ainsworth Giddon, truck driver Roger Leslie, and Egbert Campbell, an employee of Western Parks and Markets, should be criminally charged. The DPP later dropped the charges against Giddon in exchange for his testimony against Leslie and Campbell, but they, too, were both subsequently freed due to lack of evidence in the case. The government of the day acceded to public pressure and ordered a commission of inquiry into the development, but the public officials who testified gave disappointing testimonies, media reports said at the time. The public officials, including many who should have known better, technically escaped being held accountable, with the commissioners declaring the incident to have been a grim picture in national life. The commissioners also accused witnesses of invoking privilege as a shield against full and frank admissions, in a conspiracy to conceal the truth. At the end of the inquiry, no police officer or individual employed to the St. James Parish Council was held criminally responsible for the incident. The commissioners recommended, among other things, that the surviving street people be compensated by the government of the day. The then P.J. Patterson-led administration accepted the recommendation and signed off on a monthly compensation package of $20,000 for the victims for the remainder of their lives. Meanwhile, Mackenzie again used his address at Friday's function to dispel any notion that the government he currently serves in does not care for the less fortunate in the society. I want to be very firm in what I am saying. There are those who would want to make the country believe that this is an uncaring government, that this government has not done anything for the poor and those who are marginalized, he suggested. I want to say without fear of contradiction, that is nonsense, and rubbish at the highest level, because there has been no administration since 1944 that has done what the Andrew Holness-led administration has done for the poor in this country since 2016, Mackenzie insisted. He pointed to the work being done to help the poor in St. Ann, for example. For this year alone, the government of Prime Minister Andrew Holness is providing over $100 million in Social Security for the parish of St. Ann for the poor and destitute, said Mackenzie. The Ocho Rios night shelter was built at a cost of $22 million, and is located next to the Ocho Rios drop-in center that is also catering to homeless persons. Drop-in centers have been built by municipal corporations across the country to serve as a place where homeless persons can visit daily for meals, rest or have a bath.